Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is an action RPG set in the underworld of modern Seattle where vampires rule. Coming more than 15 years after the original Bloodlines game, this new game is built on Unreal Engine 5 and supports DLSS, FSR, and frame generation. Is your GPU up for playing it? Starting off with VRAM usage at 900p low quality settings, Bloodlines 2 only uses about 6GB of VRAM, with that number staying below 8GB all the way up to 4K. And if you crank up the details to Ultra, that does balloon up to 7.5GB at 900p, with 4K coming in north of 10GB. Frame generation is available and does require about 500 MB to enable, pushing the max VRAM usage for this game up to about 11.5GB. Sticking with a lower performance preset does give you a nice boost in performance though, with the high preset giving you an additional 18%, medium 36%, and low 44%. These lower performance presets do mostly affect just the lighting, with the game still looking good if you drop down the quality, though you do lose some of the ambiance on the lowest quality preset. Moving over to the performance benchmarks, and one thing to note is that this game does use upscaling by default on the ultra quality preset, but there will be some native performance numbers in the upscaling section of our video. Overall, at 1080p, every card we tested was able to produce a playable experience, with the ARC A770 able to deliver above 30 FPS. If you are looking for a 60 FPS experience though, thankfully you don't need to go much higher, with there being several entry-level models from NVIDIA able to achieve that, starting with the RTX 3070, with the RX 9060 XT 8GB able to get you there from AMD. If you are looking to game at 100 FPS plus at 1080p though, you can get that with an RTX 4070 Ti or an RX 7900 XT, with the cards able to achieve above 144 FPS being the RTX 4090 and RTX 5090, though it is worth noting the RX 9070 XT does do very well here, beating out the RTX 5080. That isn't the case when we bump up the resolution to 1440p, though thanks to the internal resolution being lower, the performance hit is not as big as you would expect, with the RTX 5090 and 4090 still being able to achieve above 144 FPS, with the RTX 5080 now edging out the RX 9070 XT. At this resolution, you can still game at 100 FPS plus on the RTX 5070 Ti or an RX 7900 XT. And thankfully, the 60 FPS line hasn't moved too much, with NVIDIA still holding it with the RTX 5060 Ti, with the AMD option not budging at the RX 9060 XT. And surprisingly, all the cards are still able to hit 30 FPS plus on average at this resolution, though again, the internal resolution isn't quite 1440p. Bumping up the render resolution to 4K does push a few cards out of the 30 FPS range, but close enough that you could still get there by lowering down a few settings, with the RTX 4060 and RX 7600 now being the baselines for 30 FPS. If you are looking to game at 60 FPS at this higher resolution on the ultra quality preset though, you would need a bit more grunt, namely an RTX 5070 or an RX 6900 XT. If you are looking to game at 100 FPS though, you can still do that with an RTX 4090, with the RTX 5090 holding firm at 144 FPS. But how does that performance look at native or with DLSS? This is in a different testing area, but performance is basically cut in half down to 79 FPS, with the equivalent setting for what the game uses natively being somewhere around the balanced setting. If you do need all the frames though, you can enable frame generation, which does boost the performance all the way up to 351 FPS. At 1440p, the 5070 Ti drops down to 72 FPS at native, so roughly about a 30% drop, with the quality setting being about the same as we get at 1440p on Ultra. But if you did want above 144 FPS, you would need to enable frame generation. The RX 9070 XT takes a bigger hit down to 63 FPS, with the balanced preset giving you similar performance to the Ultra preset, though you can still get above 144 FPS if you enable frame generation. At 1080p, the RTX 5060 Ti 8GB gives you 57 FPS at native resolution, placing DLSS quality roughly in line with the ultra quality preset, with 100 FPS plus requiring frame generation, which is basically the same story as with the RX 9060 XT, with 56 FPS at native, the quality setting roughly matching ultra, and needing frame generation to achieve above 100 FPS.